Okay, I took a break for a couple days and went out sailing again. Also, fan. Wow. And now I'm back to it, and we're gonna see where we're at. I've seen that I've gotten like a lot of emails, so I haven't worked on it since Thursday, and today is Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. So it's been almost like a full week of me not working on it at all. So I'm gonna check it out and see. Okay, so there's like 25 issues that I need to deal with. And not 25 new ones, but there's like probably 10 new ones with common threads and all that sort of stuff. And then 11 pull requests. Oh wow, so if I'm looking here at, I'm looking at Momshad, I'm just gonna say Momshad. And he's been doing like a lot of work here trying to sort out my ill-structured file setup that I had before. So he's been doing a lot of work, as you can see. And then Jora12, he's, or 127, he's actually, or they, I guess, have actually helped out and like reviewed all these changes as well. So they've been doing a lot of work for the last couple of days. At Cal, I think it's good to go. We went through some reviews and everything looks clean. Should get this merged if you don't have anything else to add. Would request to review since and then he says looks great. I don't know, this is the bad thing about me. I'm like, should I be looking at this properly to see that this has actually been done well? The thing is, I don't really know what well actually means in this context, so it's like I feel like they are probably way better than me at this. So my skills are not even up there on par to like review this. 146 files changed. Yeah, I don't know what to do really. The lazy part of me just wants to merge this and hope that it should be fine, which I think it will be. I feel like who would put this amount of work into something to just not make it good? I mean, he's done such a proper work of it, and I don't really see a point in like trying to do something destructive. So I'm gonna trust him. I'm just gonna take the lazy route and then try to figure it out afterwards. Probably not a good idea. Okay, I have looked at, I think, all the issues and merged some pull requests and just try to figure it out. It's a lot of stuff, so it's really difficult to deal with it, and there's a lot of stuff coming in, so it feels like there's stuff coming in faster than I can deal with it, and I really want to like pull some of this down to my local computer and just try it out and see where we're at right now, because I don't even know what it looks like at this point. Since all I've been doing is just trying to look at the pull requests, trying to read them through and sort of figure out what actually has happened, what has changed, which I'm not that great at, so I don't know all of the stuff. And at the same time, there's like so many things that I need to deal with. But yeah, I get really tired because it's just like there's so many new things that I need to look at and learn about, that people are commenting on new issues that with stuff that I haven't never really thought about when I've been coding my own projects. So I'm looking at that, trying to learn about that, and I've been spending now about 2 hours just trying to reset everything to like 0, where I have looked at all the issues, answered all the comments, and done all the stuff that I need to do. So then now we're hopefully at ground 0, and then we can move on from there and like try to probably pull the master branch down now and just see where we're at and what the app looks like, and then see if I can actually deal with some of the issues myself. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And now I'm gonna have to just make some lunch and then go work out. Alright, so yesterday I ended up not going to the gym. I actually went to the boat to try to fix or exchange a fuel filter, which I destroyed the threads on earlier when I was trying to get some air out of the diesel engine. So that is the old one, and this is the new one. Just learning about open source, but also learning about engines, which I know absolutely nothing about before buying this boat. So all right. So inside there, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some fuel inside the actual filter, and this one is completely empty, and this is the new one. So I think what I should do is probably fill this one with some of that fuel. The new one is in place somewhat. I just need to tighten it up a little bit. All right, so now that has been lifted up a little bit, and now we can pump on this thing. And we'll see if any diesel starts coming out. Okay, so far it doesn't work. So tried to fix that, wasn't able to fix it, didn't get it to work, and then I ended up spending about like 5 hours of that day, and then came home super tired, super like annoyed that I didn't get it to work, and that the piece that I had bought, the new fuel filter, didn't work. So then what I did was I just went to the gym and didn't do any more work on the app. So now today we're gonna get back to it. So what I've done so far is I have gone through all the issues that have been created since I last worked on the app, and just sorted them out, added some labels, and added them to the different milestones. I also opened a discussions thread thing where you can actually start doing some discussions. And then I merged some pull requests and did some smaller updates to the Readme file. And I pulled down the current master branch down to my local machine and just tried to run the app to see what has happened so far. And everything seems to be working pretty good. There's some things coming up here that I haven't seen before, but now are showing up when I'm using the app. So gonna have to look into that to see what has changed. Okay, so he wanted me to essentially update the alpha so that it's up to date with the master, and I think that I have done that. Basically, all that I did was I went to not this one, but let's say that this was the alpha branch, and then I saw this message here which says this branch is 1 commit ahead and 93 commits behind. It only said that it was like 7 commits behind, and I pressed that, and then it basically asked me here if I want to create a pull request. I created a pull request, and then I merged it so that we should hopefully be up to date with the master branch. All right, I'm not sure if I need to do anything else with that, but let's check. Now I feel like I'm up to date at least with what is going on here. So let's check the discussion, see what he said. Can anyone tell me why I can't add a reviewer after creating a pull request? All right, he's now added the new feature, should automatically create a new release when a pull request is merged in the main branch. So let's merge this. Okay, so like I was talking about in the last video, I've been looking for a way to kind of give props or credit to the contributors that are actually helping out with the project at this point. And to be honest, this wasn't like a lot of research. This was just a quick little Google now, and I found this thing, which I thought was really cool, which basically would display the contributors in this sort of way. I don't know how they would organize this. Maybe by the people that have contributed the most would end up here, and then it would be like ordered in that sort of way. And then it has this list down here with like all of the contributors who have ever contributed to the project, I think. So I'm going to try to see if I can implement that. And while I'm doing that, I figured we could talk about today's video sponsor, which is Brilliant. If you're interested in learning more about computer science, then I really highly recommend checking out Brilliant, because they have courses on everything from learning how to code with Python to mathematics to neural networks. And by the way, you can check them out completely free if you use the link in my description. One of their courses that I took recently that I really think that you will enjoy is their course on algorithm fundamentals, especially if you're looking to get a job as a software engineer, but also if you're just interested in getting more confident with algorithms, then this course is a really great way to understand them. Brilliant also does a really good job teaching in an engaging way by creating visual and hands-on courses. So yeah, I highly recommend checking them out. And again, you get a 7-day free trial if you use the link in my description. And you also get a 20% discount on an entire year of Brilliant Premium. So go check it out at the link in the video description. And thank you again to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. All right, I think I've managed to do it. I created, or added a comment here on this one where I asked the all contributors bot thing to add momshad to the contributors file for architecture and code. I didn't really know what to put there, but that's what I put. And then it seems to have done everything. I've merged a pull request that it created. So let's see what that looks like, or if it's been done. Contributors, there you go. Dinner momshad. Thanks goes to these wonderful people, blah blah blah. This project follows all choices. All right, let's change that too, so that it says something a little bit different. All right, that was like 5 commits now to change this readme file, but I think it looked good now. We have the info about how to contribute up here, and then below that we have the contributors list, which is just thanking all the contributors. I think... All right, so now I've added some of the highest contributors. Monshad, Denuri, Chan, Kelvin, and Suhan, Pradhan, and Jora to the readme file of contributors. This is just a really small way of like showing some sort of gratefulness to or giving some sort of credit to the actual contributors. I'm gonna come up with a way to do that, or I guess like for now this is like the best way that I can do it, and also by mentioning them in the videos that I make. There are also other people that I will add to this list, but these are the ones that I've done so far. Now I'm gonna have to try to figure out like something to actually do, something to build, or something to work on for myself, because I think I'm up to date with all the issues and comments and pull requests. So now I'm gonna go get a new lens for this camera, because I think this one isn't quite as wide as I would like it to be. But I think what I need to do now after that is create a design for an error message and create like basically set up Figma, because I think that's going to be the best one, because that way I can use Figma to design different pages, and then I can share links to Figma designs so that people who want to contribute can actually look at what the designs are meant to look at, so that people don't just start making up their own designs, which might be better than my designs, but At least if I make the designs, they might be more cohesive or coherent. So that's probably going to be the next step. Alright, so I got a new lens. The 16-40 f4 lens is not quite as light sensitive as I would want. The one that you're watching me in right now, is a 2.8 lens, and this is an f4, so this is not quite as light sensitive, but what it lacks in light sensitivity, it makes up for in being lightweight. So I'm gonna switch it out and see what it looks like. Alright, so now we have the new lens, and we have a little bit more space in the frame. You can see a little bit more of what is actually happening, which I like. Before, we were looking at something like this. This is how tight we were, and this is what you saw. If I put the camera down, I think it was like this probably. This is what you saw. Now, with the new lens, you can see this, which I think is a little bit better. Especially considering this lens is actually a lot more lightweight than this one, which is the one that I was using before. This one is quite heavy and quite big, so this one I think will be a lot better. Alright, so this has become like my go-to lunch now for a couple of weeks, which is this chocolate pro pod, which is essentially like chocolate pudding, but it's protein pudding and with no sugar. But it tastes like chocolate pudding, and then I use some cream, essentially, just in there to get some fat and some protein, and that's like a good lunch. That's a way for me to sort of avoid eating too much chocolate and sugar, and it's working quite well. It's hopefully a way for me to get a little bit leaner without sacrificing eating these sort of things, because it feels like I'm eating something that's unhealthy, but it isn't as unhealthy as actually eating chocolate. Alright, so when I got home, I decided to take a little break for some Python automation of a little simple task. I actually I was reading this book yesterday, which is like teaching me or you how to do like single-handed sailing. And in that book, they brought up something by Ted Brewer or something like that, which is like a comfort ratio, which you can calculate based on different numbers of the boat. So what I did was I wanted to calculate that for a couple of different boats. So, but the formula is quite like complex. There's a lot of stuff that you need to add into it. So it's kind of like tedious to just type all that stuff into my phone and try to remember what the numbers were or like write them down. So I decided I would just write a quick little Python script. And now I have this script where I can actually calculate these things. So we can do this for a boat. Let's do it for the Hallberg Rossi 42F. So first you take the load over waterline or something like that, which is this number, 10.35. So 10.35. And I've also done it so that it automatically calculates everything or transfers the meters into feet and the pound or kilos into pounds. Length above waterline 12.96, 12.96. Displacement 12,500, 12,500. Beam length or width 3.95. 3.95. And basically they were saying that this is a ratio to calculate kind of how comfortable the boat is in different waves, I think it was. So the number that you should be getting here is something between 30 and 40. That's like a really good, comfortable boat, but the higher the better. So if it's above 40, that's great. If it's below 20 or 30, then that's not that great. So this one, the Hallberg Rossi 42.5 boat, is a 38.4. So that's a really comfortable boat. Now, this is not the boat that I have, because this is like a really high-end boat, and it's way bigger than I would need or want. But I was calculating it for my boat, which was like 19, so not that great. I don't know if there are any like smaller boats that get up to these kind of numbers. But yeah, that's something that I did. A little Python automation. I just wanted to show this as like an example of something quick and easy that you can do to automate a tedious little calculation. One of the reasons why I really love Python. Alright, this video was probably a little bit all over the place, and I'm trying this thing out right now just to see what you guys think of it, essentially, when I do these like less edited videos where I just try to keep shots a little bit longer and show a little bit more of the actual process. It's very difficult right now because like what I do during the days is, first of all, I don't want to spend all of my time working, so I try to spend as much time as I can as like free time. But I usually work in the mornings and I do work on the app. But that has basically been what you've seen in this video, essentially just looking at comments and stuff that have popped up throughout the night and new issues, new pull requests, and just going through them, trying to reply to things, trying to read about what people are saying about different things. So it's really difficult because it's not super clear what the actual progress is, and I'm not even sure that I'm making any progress right now, other than I'm probably getting a little bit better at actually managing like an open source project. But I hope that in the next video we're going to get into some actual coding. If nothing else, we're going to have to design the actual like error pages and do some of that sort of stuff in the Figma app or Figma program thing, which works on Linux, which is really good. So I'm gonna start doing that and come up with some designs and try to figure out the next steps more properly. But yeah, let me know. I would really like to know like what you want to see more of. If you really hate the sailing stuff that I'm doing, or if you want to see more of that, if you want to see more intricate, longer clips of me like replying to issues or structuring things or coding or whatever you want to see more of, I would be really happy to just get some feedback and try to incorporate it more in the coming videos. So yeah, this one's probably a little bit long, But I hope you enjoyed it still, and I hope I'll see you next week. Oh.
Två år sedan. 8. Och jag bilar så dog det.
Det var fucking gott. Man, nu blir alldeles konstigt. Alltså, fan. Ja. Fan, det var inte där man blev ju.